Boy, look, I keep it loyal to the team. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother way. Tell them get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Man, this shit is too easy. I'm on go, but they don't believe it. You know I'm winning with the team. Screaming Vinny, 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 bitch. Hear them devils screaming out bloody murder. I'm about to close the curtain. I'm on my grind, bitch, I'm working. Sorry, all them lies, it ain't working. Them niggas weak, cause they be turgid. I'm a West nigga, that's for certain. Then cross the line, I'ma back up and I'ma hit his ass with his virus. And I come through 300 strong, 144 Leonidas. All my niggas we eat. I'm in this bitch with the itis. Say, oh yeah, I do the sweet. Tell y'all to do the street. The nigga made the wrong move, he ain't make his ass obsolete. He ain't one of us hit the lead. He ain't one of us here preach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Look, I keep it loyal to the team. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell them get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat.
You see this look that's on my face, bitch, I'm for real with it. I hit the streets, put on my glitch, was in the field with it. You soft as cotton, just an after Uncle Phil with it. And then my target's on the move, bitch, I can still hit it. Hey, I speak true cause it's necessary. Gullah Jack revolutionary. Cold on them like January. Commander General is a visionary. Soul food, no sweets. Your preacher man, he's sweet. Matter of fact, he weak. It's wartime for peace. Think you hard, nigga, you ain't. Fuck with us, nigga, you can't. You smart cars, we takes. We form up in ranks. We body bag this rap shit. All black, no bright shit. Real life, no cap, bitch. Fall on them, that's cap shit.
I keep it loyal to the team. UBK play for keeps. Ain't shit sweet, got soldiers on deck, and my youngin' did a sweep. This a whole nother wave. Tell them get the fuck off the beach. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Nigga, come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. I'm in the field with the cleats. He ain't one of us here breach. Come through all black gully jack, man. All them niggas go retreat. Go ahead.
It's not wrong. I got 200. We'll go like 3.
According to God, the white man is the devil.
See, I've been in here for a little minute. You know what I'm saying? And I see niggas, they like to talk a lot. They like to claim leadership. They like to claim this and that. You know what I'm saying? They like to be above what they really is and have authority. But they don't really need that authority. They don't really know what to do with that leadership. You understand? You hold hands with this white ass, need to stop it, ass you to give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. See, everybody ain't with all that peace talk. Everybody ain't with all that bygone. Boy, ass need to stop it, ass you to profit. It's about to get serious. Boy, when they hit us with dope and kill us with crack, what the fuck with your leaders? I'm curious. Oh, he cashed out on your blood, traded you in and bought a new biz. Ask you the prophets, I tell you the skin. If you don't wake up, you gon' die in your dreams. I say you won't tell you no more. I swear these crackers try to kill us slow. Just spoke to a nigga and fed the up for parole because of the COVID. It feel like the host in this world that don't go together. Know it's golden and ghetto. I'm in the city blazing with my niggas. Just told the devil the skull never settle. Yeah, see the prophets. So I'm tired of these niggas keep talking about, you know, you respect my religion, I respect your religion. Boy, your ass need to stop it, ass need the prophets. You know, like we all come together. Cause you know, they say God so loved the world. God so loved the world and the whole ass need to stop it, ass need the prophets. Don't give a damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up and serve my God. We don't pray on our knees, nigga. Yeah. Hey, gentlemen, y'all, we don't pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up. wrong with a step, I'm silent for show. To the fake niggas, stay silent, I got it, let's go. I ain't taking no loss, ain't no talking when we got the flow. Ain't no peace, just play with you. I'ma be low to the right arm. Tell him we can't keep it slave. And I can never let bygone be bygone. Got you, baby mother on high. Baby pass through the fire. Ain't she the props? That baby so belong to the Lord. How dare you abort it? Therefore a failure, bitch, I can afford it. I prepare slaughter, you bring me my water. Push your leaders weak, let them lies slip through their teeth. The ass need to stop it, and she the props.
That's just the reality, Christians. I'm sorry to hurt your feelings. I know your pastor lied to you every Sunday for 30 years, but that's what the church is for, lying. That's why they exist, to lie the money out of your pockets.
Boy, your ass need to stop it, and she the props. Damn what you talk about. Don't give a fuck what you believe, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We'll pray on our knees, nigga. We'll pray on our knees, nigga. Gotta stand up to serve my God. We'll pray on our knees, nigga.
Nah, we good to go. Oh, you want to do it?
I just wanna see my enemies fall. Yeah. Hey, look, I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s where they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Trying to build my own city, homie. Enough room to put my niggas on it. Then start a couple business on it. Fuck any heathen, never shitted on me. Yeah. Public housing we done lived through. Trying to put that in my rear view. Gold rolls, what I still do. I can see the picture with a clear view. Gotta separate the snakes and all you fuck niggas that's gon' hate. Daily pray to God I don't catch another case. But that's a small risk that I feel I gotta take. Only certain niggas, they gon' feel this. Still deliver verses on that real shit. If I get a couple million, I'ma bust this shit down with these children. I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s where they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Yo, get up out of pounds, homie. Got killers with them rounds on them. Look like I'm dead from the drum. Look, don't make me make the reaper rain down on them. I can give a fuck if you rock blue. And I was Subaru from the Fruittown crew. Cops still shoot us every time we move. They hate you, nigga, like they hate me too. Just know that brotherhood is a weapon. Build another zone, get protected. Too many sisters in the city been molested. Now I'm stacking soldiers off the block like it's Tetris. Woo. Know that truth, it give you chills, don't it? Steady ringing in your ears, won't it? If I'm blessed to make a meal, I'ma bust that shit down with my real homies. I just wanna bow. Told my niggas stand tall, cause we about to go and get it out. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Look at them 20s where they crawl. I've been praying that my enemies fall. Nigga, I just wanna bow. And I hope you bow too. And that be why I gotta keep it true. Nigga, I just wanna bow. Just give me what I'm due. Let my enemies see the living proof, Lord. I just wanna bow. Hey. Yeah. To all them children that grew up with parents strung out on drugs. Yeah. I just wanna bow. Hope you do too. And I hope you do too. Yeah. Man, to the brother that had a real, and she left him for whatever reason. Yeah. I just wanna bow. I hope you do too. And to the sister, you know what I'm saying, that had that nigga leave her. Yeah. Nigga, I just wanna bow. So my niggas is locked up. I hope you do too. Man, I hope you niggas see the light of day. Yeah, I just wanna bow. Yeah, I just wanna bow.
You understand? You done found a new.
Hey, Shalom Israel. You know what I'm saying? This is the Isupk. Started out of 1 West Home, New York, 125th Street. I'm the Commander General Yohana. This is Isupk Colleen, the Wednesday law class. Let's clap it up. Let me get this one. Yeah, so basically, I want to go ahead and give a courtesy salute to the brethren. Shalom Yahweh, Shalom Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai Brakatah, and then to the sisters, Shalom Yahweh Shemalatham, Bashem Yahweh Shai. I got Priest and Officer Barakyah with me, and then also Priest and Officer Aban Zayan who'll be doing the reading. And of course, we have some sisters here in class. Before we get started, I want to say, if you have any questions of any kind, you know what I'm saying, please put them in the chat. If you have any questions in the room, just raise your hand. You understand? And we'll try to, give you an answer to the best of our ability. I hope everybody's been, you know what I'm saying, enduring. You understand, fighting their demons. You understand? And this class today, what we're dealing with is, you know what I'm saying, vain imaginations. You understand, following orders in the Lord's counsel. So the first precept I want to get to is one that we hear a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's Ecclesiasticus chapter 2. And I want to set the tone and the framework by, basically by giving an understanding of what the Lord desires from us when we come into this truth. You understand? Because, the understanding that a lot of us have is that we have free will, right? That we can choose how to live how we want, that we determine how our lives end up, that we shape our lives, you know what I'm saying, and that we can determine our own fate. When, you know what I'm saying, when that's not true for even the nations that the Lord, created, that he doesn't care about, but especially for blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, there is no such thing as free will, okay? And before we get to that Ecclesiasticus, let me get Deuteronomy 30 and 19. You know what I'm saying? There is no free will. Like, am I saying that you can't make choices that that will lead you to a certain end, that you don't have the ability to make those choices? No. You understand? And I want to give an example of what I'm talking about, right? So I was a pre-K teacher for 5 years, early childhood education. And so I dealt with 2-year-olds up to 6, and then the pre-K age, you know what I'm saying, between 6 going into 7 before they go into first grade. So, we had to have our lessons prepared a week in advance. You understand? So we had to have the whole day scheduled out ahead of time. So it took a lot of preparation, you know what I'm saying, for the kids, because you had to come up with multiple activities to keep them occupied. But in doing that, Salakia, for lack of a better word, I knew their future. You know what I'm saying? I predetermined what their future was going to be. Now, could there be deviations based on my own judgment? Yes, but for the most part, in its entirety, I had everything laid out in advance for them, right? So, you know how children are, you know what I'm saying? The same way as some of us adults are, man. We want when we want it, right? So, we had certain periods. So say in this particular time period, it was open play, you know what I mean? They can go sit on the beanbag in the library. They can go, read a book. They can come over here and play with the plastic dinosaurs. They can go over here and play with the, with the trucks or what have you, or play with the blocks, right? But a lot of times, man, the children want to go outside and play, right? And they'd come to me, you know what I'm saying? And they would say, sir, we want to go outside and play. And what I would do is I would tell them, I'm like, well, you're not going to go outside, but you can go over here and read in the library. Or you can go over here and do sand play. Or you can go over here and play with the dinosaurs. And I would redirect them. So now I gave them the illusion of choice, but ultimately I still determined where they were going to go because I was in control of the situation. And I gave that example to give, and our people the understanding of how the Lord has it set up. You understand? just because you're able to make a choice doesn't mean that you have free will. You understand? If the choices that you make already have a predetermined end, then really you're not choosing, you're just going within what's already set up. And with that, go ahead and bring out the precept. This is Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 19.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30, verse 19. I'll call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death.
Right. So the Lord is saying that he set before, you know what I'm saying, the children of Israel, life and death, right? So your only two choices is either to follow his commandments and live, or do your own thing and die, right? And, you know, I also want to let it be known too that when the Lord says life and death, those are, and I'm using this word loosely because I don't want to, you know, take any respect off of the Lord and his word, right? But those are slang terms for the Lord, right? When he says life, he's talking about the blessings, all right? The blessings that come with keeping the commandments, following his instructions, and taking heed to his word, right? You receive the blessings for that. You know what I'm saying? Your life is blessed. You're empowered. You know what I'm saying? You're given strength. You understand? Really, to sum it up, you're protected. Okay? What we see going on in Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian communities is a lack of protection. That's why you see our oppressor shooting our sisters down in the streets, shooting our brothers down in the streets. You see our mothers on drugs, right? You see our men, you know what I'm saying? They're you know, they're caught up in, you know, tales of living an old street life and passing that down to the next generation of men. You know what I'm saying? Where they're only concerned about about that dollar, and you know what I'm saying, like, and getting that bag. There's no brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? It's you know, it's either jail or it's the graveyard. And the condition that you see us in, this hell that you see us in, is a direct result of us believing that we have free will, but really all we're doing is choosing death. Right. And when you hear that word death, that's the Lord's, like I said, for lack of a better word, that's his slang for the punishments, the curses. You understand? And, you know, if you want to get familiar with that, you can go to Deuteronomy 28, you know what I'm saying, where it outlines all the punishments that will come to us for going against and not taking heed to the Lord's instructions and his commandments, man. Right. You understand? So you can just read that one more time, please. If you could, Baba Shah.
Verse 19. Verse 19. I'll call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
Right, like even you fathers and mothers with your children, right? You tell your kids, hey, you need to get your room cleaned up. If you don't get that room cleaned up, I'm gonna tear y'all tail up. Mm-hmm. If you get the room cleaned up, y'all can have some ice cream, or y'all can go to the park. Right. You've set before them life and death. You understand? Blessings and cursings. If they take heed to what y'all say, you're gonna give them the reward that you want to give them. But if they ignore what you say, they're gonna receive the punishments. Right. The Lord is a good father. You understand? You know what I'm saying? He chastises his children, but our chastisement, we receive that as a nation. We experience it as individuals, but it's a national. Salaki, what's a word for that?
Like a national, like
it's,
a
well,
scope,
national,
like
scope of punishment. You know what I'm saying? It's like being in school, man. You know what I'm saying? You have a couple of kids being class clowns, and everybody get punished. You know what I'm saying? When the bell ring, everybody gotta wait 5 or 10 minutes before they go to recess because 2 people was acting up. Right. You understand? You gotta remember, man. Daniel, the 3 Hebrew boys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, these were righteous men. You understand? But they went into the captivity in Babylon. You understand? When we came over here on slave ships, everybody wasn't wicked. You had some people you had Israelites that were righteous that got put on slave ships. You understand? Christ was a righteous man. He was under Roman oppression. Right. You understand? He was under the punishments. Right. You understand? Even though he was sinless. So you know, I'm saying that to say that, you know, us keeping the commandments doesn't make us exempt from the punishment that we're all having to deal with. That's why when in Zephaniah 2:1, where it says to gather yourselves together, O nation not desired, You know what I'm saying? The Lord is telling us to be of one mind, one body, you know what I'm saying? One baptism, so we're all on one accord. Because what we're suffering on one accord. You understand? And so there is no free will. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because the idea of free will, which comes from our oppressor, the white man who is the devil that the Bible speaks of, it's what produces vain imaginations. And I'm gonna tell you, man, we're up against in this walk, we're up against various adversaries that come from different angles, right? We have the example of the heathens that are in front of us. They have their culture, they have their ways, and without being in the truth or having the truth given to you, you're drawn to that. You're tempted by that. You understand? But what you also have is the Lord. You understand? Because the Lord allows on the left-hand side spirits to try to run game on you.
Yeah, fool you.
Right.
The Lord isn't the Lord. The Bible says that the Lord does not tempt man.
I was about to go there. I got that precept already in the chamber.
But you could. I mean, but that don't mean pigs don't exist. You might see a bunch of pigs and all that, and you think about, a BLT, and you might want to go sin, but the Lord didn't make that pig for you to go sin. There might be a demon that comes and plays on your mind and says, the Lord wouldn't want you to starve to death. You're on this, if I was on a deserted island, and there was only just Kahlua pork, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure he would want me to live and eat pork, but, that's all just things that you use, and a demon might play on your mental for to get you to make the decision to, disobey instead of obey.
Right.
So like.
No. The water priest for that. You know what I'm saying? That's a heavy point. And this is why I'm trying to set the framework, because you're up against the heathens that surround us, but then you're also up against unclean spirits, but then on top of that, you're up against yourself.
Right.
You understand? And I'm gonna allow the scriptures to bring that point out. Priest, if you can give me that Ecclesiasticus chapter 2, verse 1.
Hey, real quick, do we have any Coke, like Coca-Cola? Anything? It's no sweat.
Brother, you said any Coke. I was like, what?
Yeah, look. Y'all got it.
Salakia to the Akim, Salakia to the men above us.
Y'all got to clean up, man. Look, clean up your mind, the demon.
Right.
The legal, the black one, the brown one.
If you could.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 2, verse 1.
Right.
My son, if thou come serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation.
Prepare thy soul for temptation. Now this is heavy, because we know in the Lord's Prayer, Christ said he's prayed to the Most High to lead us not into temptation. But here you're being told that when you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for it. You understand? Because ultimately what temptation is whatever tries to draw you away from the law. Whatever tries to draw you away from the commandments. Whatever tries to draw you away from what the Lord told you at the outset, man. You understand? What tries to draw you away from righteousness, man. You understand? It's any voice, it's any idea or thought that comes into your mind that is contrary to the word of God, man.
Right.
You understand? And you're going to experience that, man. You understand? And it can come in various forms. It can come in different ways. You understand? Keep reading. Up to 6.
Verse 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure.
Right. We all know that the heart, according to the scriptures, is the mind. So it's saying set your mind right. Get your mind ready, man. It's like if you ain't been in the gym in a long time, right? You know what I'm saying? You've been eating fried foods, fast foods, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you late night binging on cake and ice cream, and then you come to terms with it and you say, you know what, I need to get in shape. I want to get my health better, you know what I'm saying? Get my breathing better. I'm gonna start running, I'm gonna start working out. Before you go into that gym, right, and get your body right, you gotta get your mind right. You understand? You have to have your mind be set and focused, because when you hit that gym for the first time and you hit them weights and you hit that the treadmill or the leg machine, as soon as you get to going for about 5 minutes, you might have some energy, and then when you hit 10 minutes and 20 minutes, then your body's like, oh hell no, Salakia, you need to go find a couch. You know what I'm saying? I need to go back to the AC in the recliner chair.
Do you really want to get fit?
Right. You understand?
You know
when you got them little prep meals or you got to eat that salad, you know what I mean? You can't put all that heavy cheese and ranch on it and stuff. You know what I mean? It got to be olive oil and vinegar. You know what I mean? Something light. You know what I mean? Or having to drink that water. You know what I mean? That's one of the things I'll be transparent. You know, I'm a juice head. You know what I mean? So even though I know water is good for me, I like juice. You understand? So, but when it's time for me to make that adjustment, I get tempted. As opposed to drinking the water, I want to go ahead and get some of this lemonade. You understand? So the Lord is saying, set your mind aright. Get your mind focused and locked in to be able to endure to the end. Because in order for you to finish your goals and complete what you set out to accomplish, your mind has to be focused to see yourself through to the end. So the Lord is saying, in this spiritual walk in the truth, there are going to be things that come and tempt you to get off of your focus. And it is your job to put those things down and to keep your mind right. I'm paraphrasing the scripture, but in Proverbs it says that to keep your eyelids straight in front of you and look and turn neither to the right nor to the left. But you know what I'm saying? But basically stay on the path, man. Keep your eyes straight and your focus straight. Right. It doesn't matter if it comes from somebody that you associate with, someone that even cares about you, because sometimes the strongest temptations come from those from people that care about you, that are trying to that's pulling you off of the way. You understand? Like Christ experienced that a lot with his family, man. His family would tempt him to get off of his course. You understand? And he loved his family, but he had to let them know. I mean, even from his own disciples, man, even from his own brethren. If you're familiar with the story, man, Christ had asked Peter. He said to Peter, he was like, "Yo, who do men say that I am?" And Peter was like, "Some say you're the prophet, some say you're Isaiah, some say you're Jeremiah." And then Christ said, "Well, who do you say that I am?" And he said, "Thou art the Son of God." You know what I mean? Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. And Christ's response to him was, "Peter, flesh and blood have not revealed that to you, but my Father which is in heaven." So, of course, like, you know, if you in the truth and you got the men above you and they ask you a question, you get the right answer, you feel good about yourself. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're like, "Man, yo, the Most High showed you that." You're like, "Oh, okay, I'm doing good, man." You know what I'm saying? I'm in the spirit. Right after that, Christ says, "Hey, in a few days, you know what I'm saying, the chief priests, the elders, they gonna take me, man, and I'm gonna be tried, and I'm gonna suffer a temptation, and I'm gonna be killed." You understand? That's the next thing he said. And then Peter, feeling himself, was like, no, Christ, that ain't gonna happen. God forbid, you ain't gonna die. You understand? Now he feels emboldened because he said one thing right 5 minutes earlier. You understand? And you got to think, man. This is who the Lord chose to be in charge when he left. Peter was very close to Christ, man. Peter loved Christ. And Christ's response to Peter was, he says, "Satan, get thou behind me." You know what I'm saying? "For thou savorest not the things of God, but of man." That can happen in an instant with anybody, man. A demon can hop on somebody and they say something to you that's to get you off of your path. That can happen with anybody. You understand? And just like that. You understand? And you got to think, Peter's sitting here like this is his master. This is his captain. You know what I'm saying? And this captain's like, "Yo, man, Satan." He called him Satan. 5 minutes earlier, the Most High didn't reveal this to you, Peter. The next 10 minutes, you Satan. You know what I mean? That'll put a brother through through a roller coaster, man. Yeah. But the point is that temptation surrounds us. That's why no matter what, you have to hold fast to instruction, man, because vain imaginations can come from any and all angles, man. You understand? In fact, you give me the definition of that word vain? If you could. Anybody in the audience or whatever. In fact, I need somebody to be watching the chat too, because I don't know. Last time it was people dumping into the chat and I wasn't even cognizant of what was going on. And Salaki, y'all, you know what I mean, real quick.
You good, priest.
You know what I'm saying? Salaki. You in the chat, Abonzan?
My phone's on.
Okay, good night. Y'all brothers, man, what's going on, man?
I'll be peeping into the chat in the class, so I haven't seen anything about
My phone's
about 5 minutes.
Let me see. Get up in here, man.
It's good to go. I mean, I got it.
Salaki.
Ain't nothing but salutes. Should be.
All right, no sweat. You understand? So, did you already hit 6 on Ecclesiasticus?
Wow. I'm on
He got vain.
2.
Go ahead. Keep reading.
and make not haste in time of trouble.
Right. It's important, man, that when you go through a temptation, when you go on, you see, and sometimes, man, temptations is the consequences of your decisions and choices from your old life. You know what I mean? When we come into this truth, man, we become a new creature, or we're working on becoming a new creature, a new man, a new woman. And decisions from our prior life, they haven't finished their course yet. You understand? So while you're being translated from this world of darkness, this world of punishment and curses, you know what I'm saying? This world where you didn't know your right from your left, you know what I'm saying? You're stumbling in darkness, right? You're making decisions, but you don't understand why you're making decisions. You know what I mean? You're walking in your vain imaginations, your fantasies, because that's all a vain imagination really is, man. It's your imagination. It's the vanity of your mind. And usually it's like how children think, man. You know, children see something on TV and they want it. They don't understand that it takes money, currency, going to the store to purchase it. Is it a necessity or is it a want? They just see what they want and they want it, man. And sometimes as adults, we're still functioning as children. You understand? And we have these problems coming to our life, and because we're without counsel, and especially we're without the Lord's counsel, we're without the law, the Lord don't even hear us. You understand? He's not even hearing our prayers. The scriptures say that he who refuses to hear the law, even his prayer is an abomination. You understand? And to hear what that's talking about is that if you don't even put the law into consideration, and that's not even a part of your daily life, your prayers are pig to the Lord. They swine to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? He's not even hearing you. So you're living your life, and it's failure after failure. It's bumping into a wall after bumping into a wall, and then eventually you just throw your hands up and you just turn to your imaginations and say, you know what, forget it. You know what I mean? I'm gonna live like how I'm gonna live it. I only got one life to live, and then you doom your children to walk in the same punishments that you were walking in. You understand? So when you come into this truth and it's time to make that change, a lot of that stuff from your past is still running with you, and that's why you got to endure, man, and build up this new man under the pressure of dealing with your old life. Family, friends, people who want you to go back to how you used to live. You understand? Or you dealing with a situation that really is unjust. You understand? But it's like you got to wait on the Lord to sort that thing out. So read it again.
And make not haste in time of trouble.
Make not haste. Don't be in a rush to make a decision in the time of trouble. You understand? They coming to tow your vehicle. You understand? Because you late on payments. Or they saying you about to get evicted out of your house, right? Or they're saying they about to come and take your child. You understand? Because they feel like you're not fit to raise a child, or you don't have adequate finances, right? Or you get some type of report from the doctor. You know what I mean? Saying that you could be dealing with a serious illness, right? Or sickness. Don't be hasty. Don't be in a rush, man. You know what I mean? Keep reading.
Verse 3. Cleave unto him.
Right.
And depart not away.
Right. So the oath that you made to the Lord to change your life, cleave unto him, man. You understand? The same way you would, you would cleave unto your parents. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you were scared or whatever like that, when you was a child, you hold on to your mama, hold on to your dad, hold on to them. Don't let go of your oath. Don't let go of your commitment. Stay committed, even when it's getting dark. Keep reading.
That thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
That thou mayest be increased at thy last end. And I want to say something else to y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, another reason why the Lord is telling you this is because the Lord allows demons on the left-hand side to try his people, man. Because he want to see who's real and who's fake. He want to see who's in this, if it's just a novelty, you know what I mean? Or it's just something that you want to play with. The Lord is seeing if you're serious or not. So he allows spirits on the left-hand side to come in and see about you and see if you're sincere. You want to speak on that, priest?
Yeah, Bible could shot if I could, man. And just like that's all over the Bible. And any person who has any kind of 2 cents is going to prove a family member. They're going to prove a friend and all of that, man.
Right.
But a lot of you ignorantly walk out there and have enemies for friends because you won't prove your friends, because you won't hold them to any sort of standard or things like that. And that's unwise, and that's going to lead you to getting locked up, robbed, your girl sleeping with your best friend because he wasn't really in it. He just wanted to be around you to get closer to her, because you refused to see that he doesn't care or value the relationships that other people might value or care about, man. But the Lord has a set standards. He has set statutes and laws that he requires from his children, man. And he just, he gonna put them out there, but he also gonna make sure you're gonna keep them even in a tough time. If you're gonna stay real, what they say, you wasn't with me when I was shooting at the gym.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You want to be there when the party started. That's what you Christians like. You wanna die and go to the party. Well, the party ain't getting here till you start working and putting up the streamers.
Right.
You start blowing up balloons and getting the party ready, man. Getting dressed for the wedding, and getting dressed for the wedding. You are proved in that process that you're worthy to be there, man.
Right.
You're worthy to be there, and that's something that brothers and sisters got to do in their facet of life, and to expect the Lord to do it with them. Expect to not be perfect. You Christians, something a Christian is prideful. They're very prideful. They think that they're holy, ghost-filled, sanctified, when they're the most disgusting people I know. You know what I'm saying? If you would just realize maybe I'm not, maybe I got some work to do, then you're already starting and going on your way to becoming perfect, and the Lord is already liking your spirit. Your humble spirit is going to help you in the trying times ahead of you, man.
So like if I could, that's a heavy point, man. In the truth, one of the most important things is being able to separate your thoughts from a demon.
Right.
You understand? When you can't basically make the distinction between yourself and a demon, that's when a lot of trouble can occur. And that's the importance of, your first period of time in the truth, man, is being able to separate your will from the Lord's will. And that's why it's so important to be in class. That's why it's so important to get into these scriptures, man, because you have to be able to tell, like, the clean water from the dirty water. You understand? That's why the scriptures say, being washed with the water of the word. You understand? Or Christ will tell his disciples, you are now clean through the word which I've spoken to you. Right. Because prior to that, all you had was your vain imaginations. Right. And you thought that was the right way. You thought that the thing that you didn't come to the understanding that that you're going through all these troubles because of your thinking.
They think that voice in their head is God.
Right.
They think they got direct communication. I just listen to the Lord, I don't need to read the Bible because when I'm in a tough time, I just listen to that voice that pops in my head.
Right.
And that is most likely a demon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You getting played by every vain imagination instead of being sanctified by the words of Christ written up in the Bible. Right. The words of the Lord written up in the Bible. That's the clean water. That's the water that you should drink. That's the water that you are baptized and cleansed with, man. The proper instructions.
Right.
Not your imagination, not your will. It's usually not your will. It's what's right though. You know what I'm saying? It's what's right. It's what's right. It's like
damn right. No. Heavy point, priest. If you can give me Matthew chapter 4. I'm about to give y'all a real example of, basically, this is Christ. I mean, Christ was in the truth early. We have records of Yahushua, as a child, up in the school, or the temple, dealing with the elders. You understand? Dealing with the doctors and the lawyers, and dealing with the truth. You understand? But if you could, man. But basically, he had to go through his process too. You might be raising your kid up in the truth, but they still have to go through their process. You might give them a name, but if they come into the truth, they have to go through their process to get their name. Right. You understand? And go through the same process of temptation. You got that, Reese?
God.
You can start at chapter 3, verse 16.
Matthew chapter 3, verse 16. And Jesus, when he was baptized, went up straightway out of the water. And lo, the heavens were opened up unto him. And he saw the Spirit of God descending like a dove and lightning upon him.
Right, so Christ, Yahushua, saw the Spirit of the Most High coming down on him, man. That's a powerful experience, man. You know what I mean? That's a very empowering experience, right?
Right.
You understand? But, the only thing that we can equate that to is, it's not as significant, but is when we go before the men of the Lord and we get the oil poured on our heads, man. And we receive our name, or if we receive a rank raise. It's not, I wouldn't call it the equivalent of that, but Christ was receiving his rank raise in this moment by the Most High himself. Okay? Keep reading.
And lo, a voice from heaven saying, This is my beloved Son, in whom I am well pleased.
Right, the Lord confirmed him before everybody. The Lord spoke and was like, this is Yahushua, this is Christ, this is my Son, my beloved Son, my special Son, in whom I am well pleased. When you go through your period and you come before the men of the Lord and they give you your name and you receive that oil in your head, that's a great day. It's a great feeling. But at the same time, it's just the start of great temptations. It's just the start of the race. You understand? You feel like you done got through your 90 days or however long until you get your name. You understand that you done separated from the world, from your old people, your old mindset, your old friends, and then now you get the oil in your name. You're like, man, whew, I'm a new creature. Then you find out your name, you all excited. My name means living river. You know what I'm saying? Or you know what I mean? Or righteous fruit. And you like, good night, I'm righteous fruit. And you got to understand that when you receive your name, that the day that you receive your name is not the day that you have you've fully grown into who you are, into the name. The name is the space for you to grow into that. You understand? And it's really the beginning of the journey. And we're going to see that here in the scriptures. You can keep on reading.
Matthew chapter 4. You want to pick it up?
Yeah, I'll pick it up.
Yeah, it's 4 and 1.
4 and 1.
Yeah.
Matthew chapter 4, verse 1. Then Jesus, then was Jesus.
You say Yahushua?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, say Yahushua?
Yahushua.
Yeah.
Then was Yahushua led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
That's heavy. He was led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil. Why? The same reason why we read in Ecclesiastes, it said to prepare yourself when you come to serve the Lord for temptation. Because you have to go through a training period to be able to discern between good and evil, between the Lord's will and your will, between the Lord's voice and the voice of a demon. You have to be able to make those distinctions, man, because your inability to follow instruction will lead to your death. It'll lead to your death. You understand? And the consequences just don't affect you. It affects everybody around you. Because when you come into the body, that's like if you cut your finger and get an infection, when those white blood cells and those antibodies go to fight, that affects your whole body. You get a fever. You know what I'm saying? If you contract a bacterial infection, a respiratory infection, your whole body's affected. You know what I'm saying? It's not like just your lungs are in the fight. Your whole body's in the fight. And when you come into this body and you're dealing with your demons, that's why we say brotherhood is a weapon. Because whatever you're dealing with, we're affected by it as well. We're dealing with it as well. You know what I mean? Now, if you're leaning on the brotherhood and you're coming to class and you're asking questions and you're seeking counsel, then you're on, you might be going through it, but you're on the right path of dealing with those issues. But if you're not seeking counsel, if you're trying to handle it yourself, if you're staying in your own head, because when you're in your own head, you're really just having a sit-down one-on-one conversation with the demon. The demon has become your counselor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The demon is at your right hand. You know what I mean? You're talking to yourself. And people talk to themselves. You understand? But 9 times out of 10, that self-conversation, that's not the Lord, man. That's you and that demon. Especially if it's telling you to get away from counsel, to, I mean, I don't want to call and burden Cap or call the man above me with this issue. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to like tell him my business like that. I mean, this is embarrassing. You understand?
Good night.
Like, you want to speak on that?
Yeah, if
So
I
like-
was shy, if I could, man. When you move and act like that, like, and this is such a heavy precept to bring out, priest, because Christ just got exalted by God
Right.
himself in front of everybody. And then immediately the devil, Satan, comes to play on him. You know what I'm saying? And I believe Cap said before I got my name, what was it, like a barbecue? He was like, when you get your name, really now you are the target of Satan.
Right.
Now you're in the crosshairs. He's like, oh, this nigga serious.
Right.
So like, he really want to change. Well, I'm gonna knock him off. Basically kind of going, you on the hit list now, man.
Right.
You're the cat to take out now.
Right.
And that goes for the sisters as well. But if you don't lean on the brotherhood, man, you better be strong. Right. You better be pumping them books or whatever it takes for you to stay solid, because a brotherhood is a weapon against Satan. Brotherhood is a weapon against the wiles of this world, against the devil, against storms, against everything that could go wrong in life, man. And when you tell yourself, I don't want to call Cap or bother Cap, it sounds nice. But that's like saying, that's like your car breaking down and you're saying, I don't want to call a mechanic.
Damn.
I don't want to call a mechanic. I'm gonna just fix it myself.
And Salaki, if I could, just real quick, I don't want to interrupt your flow.
Go ahead.
That's a demon.
Right.
That's you. That's why I say it's important to be able to understand what a demon is. A lot of times, man, people hear things like, oh, you're acting Christian, or that's a demon, and there's a demon on that person saying, look, here they go again saying that's Christian, or here they go again saying that's a demon. That's a demon. Because your inability to acknowledge the demon's job or his purpose is to destroy you. So what he wants to do is, like, I heard it was in a movie. I think the movie was called Usual Suspects. But this devil was in the movie, and he was behind everything that was going on in the movie. And what he said was he was under interrogation, and they didn't realize who they were talking to. They didn't realize they were dealing with the mastermind behind the whole plot, right? But what he said was the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world that he didn't exist. And for a demon, him allowing you to believe that he's not there and it's you, that's the greatest trick that he's pulled on you. That's the greatest deception. When Eve encountered that serpent, the serpent was a liar. But the way he got her, and the way these demons get all of us, is by making us feel that what he's trying to lure us into is what we want. Right? So he says, nah, man, it ain't gonna kill you. You know what I'm saying? It's just that he knows that when you get it, your eyes will be open and you'll be like gods, knowing good and evil. And you already been thinking in your head, man, I knew my thought. I knew how I was feeling was right. I knew what I was thinking was the right way. They tripping. I'm not tripping. They're tripping. The scripture says, be not wise in thine own eyes, nor wise in thine own conceit, but fear the Lord and depart from evil. One of the thing that's going to get our oppressor destroyed is his pride. And pride goes before a fall. You understand? And whenever we feel like that we know more than the men above us, you're setting yourself up for a fall. You understand? And Salaki, go ahead, priest.
No,
Go ahead. You good, man. Go ahead.
Salaki, if I could. And so here what y'all bringing out, I just want to chime in real quick. Because like to distinguish what's the demon when you have counsel. Like basically when you say you have counsel with yourself, you talk to that demon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The only way you can defer that counsel with that demon is going back to these scriptures and seeing how you do handle yourself with that, you know what I'm saying, the issue you're going through. Say you got a flaw with a brother, you know what I'm saying, you like, man, I can't stand that brother. But what the scripture tell you to do? Talk to that brother. Right. You know what I'm saying? You can't listen to that demon, because that demon gonna draw you away from that brother and separatism and everything, man.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? And that's why I gotta say that's it. You know what I'm saying? Just don't fall into the temptation of that counsel by yourself.
Right.
The same thing y'all bringing out.
Right. And also too, in Salakia, and for the sisters as well, right? You know, we talk about sisterhood and all that, and there is a level of sisterhood, but when you're dealing with a battle, if if your sister's not telling you to seek counsel, if your sister's trying to give you counsel, then she's not really being sisterly. What I mean by that is that you're supposed to go to the priest and the men of the Lord. You understand? Now, if the sister's like, be patient, seek counsel, sister's gonna be all right. I'm here for you. You know what I'm saying? Stay encouraged. This is a demon, but go seek counsel from the men of the Lord. Then she's telling you what's correct. But if she's trying to talk to you and you just going over the situation, like, you know, I remember one time I got told this by an older man. He basically he was telling me about people coming to him asking about other people's business, right? And he said what he has telling them is when they ask, well, what's going on with so and so, what's happening with so and so, he'd say, well, okay, if I tell you, what you gonna do with the information? What you gonna do with that information, right? And I looked at him, I was like, that's kind of heavy. What he meant was is that if they can't provide if I'm telling you this and you can't provide a solution for this person, why do you want to know? Why do you want to be in tune with what's going on for if you can't provide a solution? That's why the Lord gives divine counsel through the priests and prophets of the Lord. That's why if you, and this just goes for the brothers too. In Salaki, if I was making it centered on the women, I'm just saying that because sometimes sisterhood gets confused with talking. A lot of talking and, oh, I support you, and which there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying if you really want your sister to have a solution, the best thing you could tell her is sister, seek counsel. Go to the men of the Lord, or go to, if she has a husband, go to your Lord, right? Or seek counsel from the head of your school, from your camp leader. That's the best counsel that you could give her, or a suggestion at that time. Not to talk about it and go over it, and because all you're doing really is two people who are in the dark trying to spark a light, and you don't have it. The light's going to come from the Lord, and the Lord has chosen men to give you that light. Salaki, priest, you want to go ahead?
No.
Okay,
I mean,
no sweat.
You know, yeah.
No sweat. Can we continue with that Matthew 4, please? Okay. Vain imaginations, man. When Christ had just received a rank raise, and immediately thereafter, he's going up to get tried. Like the priest y'all was bringing out. When you get your name, when you get that oil on your head, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, like for the men, if you get a rank raise, expect, you know, with that rank raise comes a raise in the rank of the demons that you're going to deal with. You understand? When you get your name, for the sisters, like you're gonna get more demons to attack you now. It's like open season. Like the brother said, you become a target. If you get if you choose a Lord, going through your courtship period, that it's gonna be things that come and try you at that time, because you know maybe your previous relationships, what you've gone through, everything that you're used to dealing with, your trigger points, things that set you off. You know what I'm saying? Those demons are going to try to come back. As a matter of fact, I need someone to give me, if you could put on your phone, the scripture that talks about the unclean spirit. When it leaves a man, I want to go ahead and deal with that real quick, and then we're going to continue with this Matthew 4. When an unclean spirit leaves a man. If anybody, I don't know who's in the chat, I mean, if anybody's in the chat that has that precept, if you could put it into the chat, or I'm going to wait for one of these priests to go ahead and get that, because I want to get on to that, because, you know, we're going to see in Matthew as well that even after Christ, or it could be in Luke, I'm not sure.
12:43.
12:43, okay. I think it could be in Luke, but even when Christ endured this temptation, it said that the devil left him for a season. When you get the victory, and Most High in Christ, if you endure it, he's gone for a little bit, but he's coming back. That's why you have to set your mind aright and cleave unto the Lord. You can't never really be at rest. And I'm not talking about paranoia. I'm not talking about being suspect of everybody in the sense of you looking at everybody sideways. But if somebody gets you off of the instructions that you've been given, then you're well within your rights to move accordingly. There's no sin in that. You understand? If you're holding to the Lord, and whoever is trying to oppose that, then you maintain your path. You maintain your square, regardless. Okay? You got that, priest?
Count.
The water.
This is Matthew chapter 12, verse 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none.
Right. When that unclean spirit leaves you, you understand? What this is talking about is, and this is not just about your 90 days, because let me be honest with y'all, 90 days is not really enough time to really get rid of everything that you've been dealing with If you if you're 30 years old, 28 years old, 25 years old, 40 years old, 90 days is not going to clean out 30 years of you living like a heathen. You living wickedly. You understand? But it's like, spring cleaning. You get your house in order, right? But what has to happen once your house is in order? You have to maintain that order. You have to maintain the cleanliness that you set up. Okay? And that's not always easy because why? Things come up, right? So, keep reading.
Come on, priest. Verse 44. Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out.
That demon feels like, look, he's like, I've been paying rent here for 30 years, for 20 years.
I've been giving counsel here.
I'm not finna just give up this house like that, man. I'm gonna go back to where I'm comfortable at. You know what I'm saying? Because see, you might have been dealing with I don't know, what? Salakia. Okay, Salakia. You might have been dealing with smoking weed. You might have been dealing with having sex with women and throwing them away, right? Or vice versa. You having sex with men and throwing them away, right? You might have been dealing with other religions like zodiac signs or, or Buddhism or meditation, right? But then when that unclean spirit leaves, he try to go into another body. They dealing with crack. They got the crack demon. You understand? He out there blowing raw for crack rocks.
So he like
right, or she a prostitute and she getting like 9 bodies or 10 bodies a night for $40. You understand? And that demon's like, nah, I ain't come for all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with the weed demon. I'm cool with the zodiac demon. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool with the, you know what I mean? She it's the Netflix and chill demon, right? So he like, man, I can't deal with all this. But then it says, in order for him to take, I'm sorry, keep reading, Salakia.
Come on, priest. I will return unto my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept, and garnished.
Man, he finds it clean, is vacuumed, the pine saw, or for the other people who don't prefer pine saw, the fabuloso. You know what I'm saying?
They both hit.
The whole house is sanitized, deodorized, revitalized. You got house plants. You got the nice pictures up on the wall. The furniture is in order, right? Everything is ready to be occupied, but it's empty. What do y'all think that's talking about when they say that he finds it empty?
Ain't nobody in there.
Spirit, see, good job, sister. You know what I'm saying? Give her a hand, man. She says spirit free because what's supposed to be there is the Holy Spirit. Now, we're not talking about nothing spooky, right? We're talking about the zeal of the Lord, the zeal and the passion to keep that place in order, to keep that place clean, man. You understand? But if it's empty, you know what I'm saying? Then what's gonna happen? I do home inspections, right? So when you go to some houses, if no one's been there for a while, even if the house is clean, you start seeing spiders in the corners. You start seeing like the air is stale. You know what I mean? They talk about that, man. Like if nobody's actually living in a home, the home begins to deteriorate. I mean, even the walls and whatnot, because there's nobody there present, like breathing and living in the house. So when they find that place, when they find it swept, clean, and empty, their thing is like, oh, ain't nobody here to stop me from coming in. There's nobody on Shamar. There's nobody on watch. For you sisters, when you do your salute, what is it? It's Shalom Yahweh Shamar Alatham Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. May the Lord watch over you in the name of Christ. That's what Shamar means. You understand? When you're dealing with a man on Shamar, he's dealing with security. He's on watch. He's watching out for anything to try to come in and intrude. But if the demons come to the house and they say, oh, this mug is empty, clearly nobody's on watch. When you come into this truth and you're not watching what's going on, then you're ripe for invasion.
Right.
Salakia.
Nah, like the priest was saying, it's really he coming back and it's like he sees a room with a vacancy. It's clean and empty too. It's better than how he left it. So he like, I'm gonna just walk up in here, kick my feet up. Like, how would you feel if you just had to walk? It says, Christ said here, it's like he goes through dry places looking for rest and finds none. And then he's like, you know what? I'm just going to go back to where I came from.
Right.
And because you wanted to put down smoking crack, you know, that demon left you and you're a better person for it. But because you don't have, like this priest was bringing out, the Spirit, the Holy Spirit, you know what I'm saying? These laws, statutes, and commandments, the will, the zeal, the desire to seek after the Lord and walk in his ways, that demon comes back to you and sees that there's nobody here watching and defending this nice place to stay.
Is your phone charged up? Okay,
Yeah.
well, I need somebody to give me the multitude of counselors.
Oh yeah, that's the yeah.
I need someone to give me that because, like we say, brotherhood is a weapon.
Right.
It's the Holy Spirit. But let me tell y'all something. When I get tempted, you know what happens to me? Captain Yatazak comes into my head. Officer Malakwaf comes into my head. Officer Aram comes into my head. Officer Karab comes into my head. General Mahaimin comes into my head. And you know what they are? You got that on your phone, multitude of counselors?
Nah.
You down too?
Nah, I'm up.
Yeah, somebody give me that, man. Multitude of counselors, right? The men above me who have spoken and given me instruction and given me counsel, that's who comes up in my head when I get tempted, reminding me of what I've been taught. So I'm filled with their counsel. You understand? So yeah, it's the Holy Spirit, it's the zeal and the desire to stay righteous and to do the right thing. But also it's the men above me who have given me counsel. So think about it. If you got 8 spirits coming back, you need to have basically, 8 counsels to combat that. You understand? To combat whatever they're trying to come back with. Because the spirit just can't come and take you over. You understand? You got to be willing to take heed to what they're telling you. You understand? Because like the scriptures say, you can't serve 2 masters. For either you're going to love the one or hate the other. You understand? Your master is who you take heed to, whose instruction that you follow. You understand?
This is Proverbs chapter 11, verse 14. Mm-hmm. Where no counsel is, the people fall.
Good night. That's heavy because pride goes before a fall. So if you're not trying to get counsel, then you're dealing with pride. You're dealing with the spirit of pride. And where there's no counsel, where you feel like you got it on your own, you wise, you can handle it by yourself, then you should get ready for a collapse. You should get ready for a fall. Keep reading.
But in the multitude of counselors, there is safety.
In the multitude of counselors, there is safety. If you're surrounded by, because that doesn't mean that you're getting different advice from different men, because we're one body, we're one spirit, we're of the same mind. The scriptures say, let there be no divisions amongst you, and let you all have the same mind and speak the same thing. Right. You understand? It's almost like when you're raising a child, right? I ain't gonna say the Hamite proverb, but for us, for y'all who have grandmothers and grandfathers, even some of your parents, depending on their age, they remember a time that if they were down the block or down the street acting up, and another parent, this is the time when other parents, what's my Black and Smack Native Indian, they could spank your behind if they caught you doing something, and parents wouldn't trip. Nowadays, these young parents, these immature parents, they ready to fight you because somebody's checking your child. Oh, you better put hands on my baby. You know what I'm saying? You ready to pull the knife out, pull out the gun. Don't touch my child, right? But back in the day, if you got caught doing something down the street, the neighbors would get you and tear your tail up. As they got done tearing your tail up, some other neighbors would see it. Oh, what did he do? What she do? This child, he over here setting fire to the trash cans, right? He did what? Man, get your ass. You getting whooped all the way down the street. And then when you finally get home, your parents is like, what happened? Because you embarrassed them and the neighbors had to tear your behind up, you get an extra butt whooping when you get into the house. So you done got beat 6 to 7 times just coming home, man. You understand? But what I'm saying is this, even as, and I'll make the example even smaller, even as husband and wife, it's so important that you have a united front with the children. It can't be that one parent there has to be a balance. The mother is the nurturer, you understand, and the father comes off as the disciplinarian. But really, the mother should be stronger with the discipline than the father. Because when the father comes, it's like Godzilla in Tokyo. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's over now. The mother's there to really set the tone for the children. So she only needs the father on some crazy stuff. But when he come in like, hey, you know what I mean? When he show up, it's like, oh, hell, Christ in return. You understand? So, but a lot of times in households, you'll have the father trying to establish an order, and the mother behind the scenes is encouraging the kids to be gremlins. She feeding them fried chicken after 12 o'clock. You understand? And she's encouraging the rebellion, right? Or vice versa. You know, maybe sometimes with the fathers, it'd be the daughter. They want to be easy on the daughter, and the mother's being hard on the daughter because she knows she's spoiled, and she know how she run game on her daddy, so she on her behind, and the pop is like, oh, that's daddy's little girl, man. Leave my baby alone. And she looking at him like, what? You know what I'm saying? But then she, in her head, she like, okay, now when she turns 16, out here jump out the window trying to go get with these boys, you're going to be on my head about it, right? That's why it's important that both parents have a unified front. So if they run to the mama, she's saying the same thing. When they run to the daddy, he like, what your mama say? I couldn't do it. What you asking me for? You understand? Do what your mama told you, or vice versa. Mama, can I go do this? Did you ask your daddy? Yeah, what he say? Well, what you asking me for? He already told you what it is. A multitude of counselors, there's safety. Because when you're operating outside of the instructions of whoever has authority above you, you lose your protection. You understand? Protection is not just having locked doors. It's not having a camera system, an alarm system. It's not having a personal weapon or mace, right? Protection is counsel. It's wisdom. You understand? When you out and about, moving around, your protection is the counsel that you receive from the people above you. It's the guidance. It's the guidance. You understand? That's the true protection. You understand? Like a lot of sisters, man, you know, I don't get into the details of it, but I was having a conversation with a sister, you know, and you know, she talking about, I'm protected, I'm good. You should, you know what I mean? You know how I get down, and I'm like, listen, the only people that I have trust for is in the Isupk. Outside of this brotherhood, I don't know how people are living. The reason why I could trust this priest, because I know he believes exactly what I believe. Our code of ethics, our code of conduct is the same code. We on the same page. Outside of these walls, I don't know what people are doing. I don't know how people really think, man. Right. You understand? I'm hearing stories about sisters getting raped, and they're not even reporting it. Dang. They're like, you know what?
I'm gonna eat that.
I'm gonna eat it. You know what I'm saying? Right?
I'm hearing the story, and I don't want to eat it. I'm like, well, where they at?
You understand? Like when you don't have any counsel and you're moving outside of the authority of the Lord, and when I say the authority of the Lord, I mean the men of the Lord. When you're not following those instructions, you're putting yourself in a position to be unprotected. It's a lot of this going out in social media right now that black women need to be protected. I agree with that.
Yeah, damn right.
You understand? I fully agree with that and support that. But part of black women being protected, even black men being protected, is following the instructions that come from the Lord, man. It's coming back to these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. If you're not operating in the truth of the Bible, then you're not going to be protected. You can't expect that's. And basically what I was trying to convey to the sister is that you can't expect the protection of a man if you're not following his instructions. If he tell you he doesn't want you to do a particular thing and you go out there and do it, you may come back unscathed. You may come back and there's no situation that happened. But you can't expect to be like, well, you're supposed to be watching over and protecting. No, you're not doing what I told you to do. Okay? Good night. You understand? In the story of the prodigal son came to the father and said, hey, give me my share of the inheritance. I'm finna get up out your house. He was making a decision to go and live life on his terms, apart from his father's protection. You understand? You can't expect the protection of the Lord if you're not keeping his laws, man.
Good night. Look, if I could, you made it very practical with that essence of, if your wife is out here running up and down the street, you told her to stay inside or do this and conduct yourself this way or that way, and she goes and gets hurt or something terrible happens, you're going to be upset because she didn't listen to you, because you put in protective measures for her, and she disobeyed them and went out of those protective barriers and got hurt.
Oh, I'm not gonna be upset. I'm gonna be laughing. I'm gonna be laughing at you.
I'm gonna be upset.
He fell to my behind. He spilled this. He poured his drink on me. That's right. Salakia, dummy. You deserve everything you got, especially if I told you, man. I ain't gonna do that. I'm just no, but the scripture says. The scriptures say, Salakia. No, I'm not. No, but the scriptures say that the Lord is going to mock at your calamity.
That is also
because you
true.
refuse to hear correction.
That's true,
You
too.
understand? Really, it's spiritual and biblical to laugh at somebody when they when they've been told what to do and they go against it.
Nah, real talk. No, but that mocking thing, the Lord, look, I understand, and that metaphor is so telling of how the Lord feels, man. He's been watching you try to get counsel from child molesters and pedophiles and who are lying on his word for so long that he is no longer upset. He is laughing. He's like, man, well, when will these people learn? I've brought them honest men who follow my word and try to educate them and show them how not to get date raped. It involves you putting on some clothes. Who shows you how to conduct yourself as a man and a woman, and how to keep your sisters protected, and how to protect yourself as a sister, so on and so forth. Protect the children, educate the children. He gave it to you.
Right.
He gave it to you, but you chose the fish fry. You chose the catfish and the child molestation that comes with it on the side. Because you love the lie, you love the evil, the demon, the demonic counsel that you get from your leadership, man. And really, there is only two choices. Like the priest brought at the top of this class, if you're not getting counsel from the righteous, then you're getting counsel from the wicked, either spiritually or realistically in person. And that man is spiritually getting counsel from a demon. So either way, you're getting the left side. You're getting the okey doke. You know what I'm saying? You gotta wisen up and choose. Just look at it, man. It adds up like 1 + 1. You know what I'm saying? One is I take my kid to a Catholic church and make him an altar boy, +1, altar boy equals 2. He's molested and gay now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? These are facts.
Right.
How long have we seen these things in the news? How long will we trust on oppression, man, or trusting on the devil who put us in this situation to save us from it, man? You gotta make the decision, man. And I tell everybody, look, I just know what to say to you. Sometimes it's the right thing, and sometimes it's a direction to the right person.
Right.
But either way, you got to make the decision to do the right thing, man. And that's what this entire book is about. You know what I'm saying? If you want to listen, you'll be rewarded, and if you don't want to listen, well, here's what happened to this dude who didn't listen, and this dude who didn't listen,
right.
and this city that didn't listen. And these people who did listen, and this man who did listen, and
right.
things like that. Now, you Christians and Catholics and Muslims love the Bible so much. When are you gonna learn from it, man?
Right.
When are you gonna learn that you can't condone homosexuality? When are you gonna learn that you can't condone drug abuse, drug dealing, pedophilia, and all these lies that you tell the people, man? Salakia, priest. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, no, not at all. Sis, you had a question?
Yes, sir. On dealing with the council, Salakia is a good scripture to go to when you have questions about counsel or the demon is talking to you, whatever. In Proverbs 15 and 22.
Go ahead. No, sis, hold on. I'm gonna read it. Proverbs 15:22.
I get it. Sis. Don't worry about it. I got it.
Yeah, the priest will bring it out.
I just want to make sure it comes through the mic.
Right. You got that, priest?
I got it.
32.
Go ahead. I think she said 22, right?
Yes, sir.
Good.
All right.
Turn the mic to him.
All right, this is the book. Okay, Slacky. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 22. Verse 22. Without counsel, purposes are disappointed. But in the multitude of counselors, they are established.
No, that's read that again.
Verse 22. Without counsel, purposes are disappointed. But in the multitudes of counselors, they are established.
And you were saying what? You were saying what did you say before that about that? You were saying what before that?
It was basically like a precept, or like is it, like when I'm talking to my children or whatever the case may be, trying to teach them. However, it's another like precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little, example of, giving them more information on why it's good to go to counsel.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, like, in terms of like, the whole demon thing, yeah, because, but it also depends on what their purpose is. I mean, I guess they really don't, because whatever anybody's purpose is, if it doesn't line up with the Most High and His purpose, then it's going to fail anyway. So a lot of times, in life, because living in this society, people, they determine their purpose on themselves, like what they want to achieve in life. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have goals, things that you want to accomplish, right? But sometimes, as long as you're committed to the Lord first, the scriptures say that commit yourself to the Lord and your thoughts will be established, right? So once your commitment is with the Lord first, everything that follows after that, even though you may be tried and tested, is going to line up, right? But a lot of times people have purposes that aren't of the Lord, so they don't want to get counsel.
Right.
You understand? And what's going to end up happening is that they're going to be disappointed. You tell your son, or you tell your son sex is marriage, and that you can't throw a woman away. Now, if he just wants to hit it and quit it, is he gonna get counsel on the situation? No. And then he's gonna be disappointed when he gets the chlamydia, or he gets gonorrhea, or he find out that she's sleeping with somebody. He thought he wanted to throw her away, but then he found out she's sleeping with somebody else. And whatever his purpose was, like to maybe like lock her in, is now it's been disappointed because he didn't take the time to really examine her, and he didn't get counsel on the situation on how to choose a virtuous sister and what that looks like, and vice versa. You might have a daughter that is wants to deal with somebody, and you tell her, hey, listen, you need to go through a 6-month period of examining this brother, and also, does he fear the Lord? Does he keep the commandments, right? But if her purpose is just I don't want to try to put him through that because that might push him away, and he ain't into all this Israelite stuff and his nationality. I'm just trying to go to the movies, have a good time, and go shoot some a skeet ball or whatever. I don't know, go do go-karts. Then she's not going to get counsel on that, and she's going to end up being disappointed because all he wanted to do was hit it and leave. You understand? But in the multitude of counselors, there's safety. You know where that safety comes from? Following the instructions. Listen, you can get counsel all day. You can get counsel all day long. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't want to take heed to what you're being told, then you're not protected. The protection comes from following the counsel. Right. You understand? Salaki, you want to speak on that?
Yeah, I want to chime in a little bit too, to say, can you read that again? Just 22. 22? Yeah.
Verse 22. Without counsel,
like purposes.
Right. Without counsel,
purposes.
Yeah, purposes.
Without counsel, purposes are disappointed. But in the multitude of counselors, they are established.
Now, that's
even heavier. Go ahead, man. I know you're going. Go ahead. Yeah.
Like, what I'm saying? Like a man might, let's say you do educate and give your son counsel, tell him sex is, sex is marriage, and if you lay with a woman, you got to stay with a woman, things like that. And he takes heed to it. But now he's married a woman that he doesn't, fully understand and know how to communicate, and he goes through the woman wants to leave and this and that, she in the world, or maybe she sees differences, and she watches TD Jakes, and now she want to leave you because she think she is loose, or whatever the case might be. Now, your son doesn't get counsel from you, or he doesn't get counsel from maybe her father. There's so many situations that you should go and get advice for on how to deal with somebody you love, or a certain situation going on in your life. It doesn't have to be like, as a man, that son, if he doesn't, go through the, doesn't get counsel from his father or that woman's father or whatever the case might be, his purpose to keep his marriage continued and to have that woman not leave him or whatever the case might be is going to be disappointed. He's going to be disappointed in his purpose because it might fail, or it might go poorly, and now his relationship is scarred forever because he didn't deal with it the right way possibly. But if you go get counsel, you'll be armed with the knowledge and resources to prevail in any situation, man.
Right.
Like I was saying earlier, you don't fall sick and think that you can solve it yourself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not if you're real sick.
Right.
Now I know black people will be like, you take this Robitussin, you drink that 7-Up, you go take a nap, you'll be all right. I'm a firm believer in naps to cure most of the.
Throw some tussin on it.
Throw some tussin on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But there is a level of sick where you need to go seek a professional. You need to go seek a professional, or you might die or never be the same again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, man? And that's what it is. That's what it is. Your purpose is, your purpose in that nature is to live, to make it to tomorrow, man, with your legs and your arms still attached.
Right.
And you go get counsel from a doctor in that scenario to continue yourself. And so in every facet of life, you require counsel. You require advice. You're not a professional on everything. Who are you? When did you read all of the books that have ever been written, man? And decipher which is real and which is fake and which is right and which is wrong. You need some guidance through life, man. And to get some understanding and gain some understanding on how to talk to people who aren't in the truth, to talk to brothers who are in the truth, or
Right.
sisters who are in the truth, how to conduct yourself as a woman in this situation, in that situation.
As a man.
In public, as a man, conduct yourself as a man, you know what I'm saying? Understand where mercy is needed and where it is not.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that requires somebody to educate you. Old school, that's the entire reason why men get old, to give you knowledge as a young man, as a younger man, or as a man who doesn't know too much. Brothers up and down the street will be telling you, hey, don't do that, young blood. That'll get you 5 to 10. And the police don't play. We all know that.
Right.
And if you don't want to get 5 to 10, you probably listen to them. Now, why wouldn't you listen to somebody when it comes to being a crack addict or being a prostitute? You know what I'm saying? Seek counsel. If not, it might be the difference between you having a good marriage or you being a hoe for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying?
And so like if I could real quick to the scripture that the sister brought out, when it says that without counsel purposes are disappointed, but in the multitude of counselors they are established.
Right.
What that also means is that it's talking about because everything is about the spirit behind stuff, right? So a person may have a desire, they may have something they want to do, but when you go into counsel, it gets searched out what the true motivation behind it is.
That's very true.
You understand? And that's why it gets established. What gets established a lot of times is what's really behind what you're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Is it in the spirit? Is it based in selfishness? You understand? Is it just you trying to live your life how you want to live it? When you're able to talk to men of the Lord that can speak to the heart of the matter, the scriptures say that Christ knew their thoughts. You understand? When you have a priest of the Lord, a man of the Lord that can see to the heart of the matter, because sometimes it's not like that you're doing this out of malicious intent. Sometimes you may come in and you're sincere about something. You're like, I want to do this, I want to do that. But through counsel, it might get revealed to you that, man, what was I thinking about? It might get shown to you that, what you're trying to do this is not of the Lord. This is of your lust.
Right.
You understand? Or it could be the opposite. It could be that it is of the Lord, and then you get confirmation from the men of the Lord, like, you know what, brother, that's a great idea. You know what I'm saying? This is of the Lord. You need to go ahead and pursue that with all the zeal that's inside of you. Or sis, that's a Tawab idea. That's an excellent idea. You need to go ahead and put all your efforts into that and see it through to completion.
That's happened too.
Right. So the whole point is go to the men above you, to the men of the Lord, and get it understood. All right. But the water, sis, for that. Right. I want to get an example of somebody. Salaki, go ahead, sis.
I want to get the one y'all were talking about earlier, Proverbs. I didn't write it down.
Was it the one she brought out?
No, y'all brought out.
What was the one that you smoked to?
14 and it was 11 and 14.
Proverbs 11 and 14.
Yeah.
No sweat. So I want to go to a story real quick because I didn't realize how much time had passed by of an example of someone who did not take heed to counsel. You understand? And you know what I see significant is that each time we see with Christ, he got confirmed by the Most High, right? And he also got confirmed by the man of the Lord because before the Most High said what he said to Yahushua, John the Baptist baptized him. You know what I'm saying? When he saw Yahushua, he said, "Behold, the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world." In that world, we're not talking about the whole planet. We're talking about the world of Israel, all right? But so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, all right? I just want to make that clear.
Right.
But if we can go to 1 Samuel chapter 10, verse 8, and we're going to see an example of somebody who had just received, you know what I'm saying, their confirmation, technically received their name. You understand? And usually when you receive your name, you receive instruction. Like I know for us, you know what I mean, before we got our name, before we got that oil, you know, we get told, hey, listen, you can stay a young man or you can stay a trooper in the truth forever. You ain't got to take on this officership. You don't have to take on this office. This is not for everybody. You know what I mean? We'll still love you the same. You'll still be a brother to us. Because if you take this oath, the Lord is taking this seriously. Not only are you taking a stand before the unclean spirits and the spirits on the left-hand side, right? You're standing before the Lord saying that you're going to serve him. You know what I mean? And the scriptures say that it's better to not vow than to make a vow
And break
and break it. Hey, Salakia, can you get them out of there and take them to the front of the house? Yeah, the water. You know what I'm saying? Just walk them out there, man.
okay.
You know what I mean?
What's the precept?
1 Samuel chapter 10, verse 8. Now, I'm going to give y'all the backdrop, okay? Just real quick to give you the backdrop of the story. This is dealing with hey man, shalom, y'all, Mr. Hey, love you, princess. All right, go ahead. Hey, you come on. No, you come over. Come on. This is class, brother.
Real man.
All right. Love you,
That
bro.
boy solid.
All right, love you, princess. Go ahead.
That boy can do mad push-ups.
Go ahead. So,
Backdrop.
Salakia for that, y'all. So this is dealing with the prophet Samuel and Israel at the time, them getting their first king. Okay, Samuel was a judge over Israel, but the people had observed the other nations, and they all had kings. So they said, we want a king for ourselves to go out and fight our battles, right? And you know, Samuel was a righteous judge, man. You understand? His mother was barren, and she had prayed for a son, and the Lord gave her a son, and in return, she gave her son to the work of the Lord and dedicated him for his whole life to the work of the Lord. And now he's in his old age, and you know, his sons were not walking in his ways. So the people felt like, you know, instead of trusting the Lord to replace Samuel with another leader, another judge, that they give us a king like the heathens. Okay, so the Lord, you know what I'm saying, the Lord let them do that. Now Samuel was hurt by that. He was offended by that, and rightfully so. You understand? So he told the people, he told the Lord, like, man, like they rejected me. And the Lord told Samuel, he said, they haven't rejected you, they rejected me. He said, because they don't want me to reign over them. They want a placeholder. You understand? They want a figurehead. No sweat, they're gonna have that. So the Lord chose Saul. Okay? So Saul, he ends up meeting up with Samuel. It's a whole experience that Saul has, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, Samuel talks to him. He lets him know, hey, look, the Lord's chose you to be king, and this is how you got to move, okay? And he gives Saul his first counsel, his first instruction, all right? And this is where we pick up at, all right?
This is 1 Samuel chapter 10, verse 8. And thou shalt go before me to Gilgal, and behold, I will come down unto thee.
This is Samuel telling Saul, he basically said, the Lord is with you. Do whatever the occasion serves you, or whatever's in your mind to do as the opportunity arises, because the Lord is with you. Now, he's telling him, go down to Gilgal, right? And I'm going to meet up with you in Gilgal. Keep reading.
To offer burnt offerings and to sacrifices of peace offerings. 7 days shalt thou tarry, till I come to thee, and show thee what thou shalt do.
So he give him his first instruction. And a lot of times, man, you know what I'm saying? We don't have patience, man. You understand? A person will give us, you know, half of the instruction, and it's for a reason, because they have a reason behind what they're doing. You know, the scriptures say that he who is faithful in small things will be faithful in big things. He who is unfaithful in small things will be unfaithful in big and great things, right? Sometimes it's not that the person can't tell you the whole thing, but they want to see, what you going to do with the small thing first.
That's it.
Okay? And as you see, read that again, the last part of that, it says, till I come to thee.
Till I come to, okay. All right.
Yeah.
7 days shalt thou tarry, till I come to thee, and show thee what thou shalt do.
So all he's telling Saul to do basically is to wait on him. Just wait. How many times do you see in the scriptures, in the book of Psalms, Proverbs, it says to wait on the Lord, man? Sometimes you have to just follow the last order that you've been given and just wait. You know, a lot of times, man, we got that anxious thing going on, that anxiety. That's a demon. That you know, it's like you're being busy, but you're not really doing nothing. That's a demon. You think because you're over here, you're moving all around that you're being godly. Sometimes the Lord just wants you to wait and just to relax and wait. Just fulfill the order that you've been given and then wait. Okay, let me see. Drop down to give me 1 Samuel 13 and verse. We gonna start at verse 8. Actually, start at verse 5. Okay, so now fast forward. Samuel then told him, give him this instruction. Now, in the meantime, the Philistines hear that Saul's become king, and they set up what's called a garrison. A garrison is like a military. It's like when the military goes overseas, right? And they set up like these little temporary bases, right? So that's what that is. It's a temporary camp, military camp set up to wage war in somebody else's land. Okay, so the Philistines that heard that the Israelites have a king now, and they ready to challenge this king and challenge their army and go to war. Okay, so but mind you, Samuel hasn't showed up yet, and Saul has been made king, but it hasn't been confirmed yet. Okay, so start at verse 5.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 13, verse 5. And the Philistines gathered themselves together to fight with Israel. 30,000 chariots.
30,000 chariots. Imagine 30,000 tanks coming into your city. 30,000. It's some cities that got a population of 30,000. Okay, 30,000 chariots. Go ahead.
And 6,000 horsemen.
That's a large cavalry, man. You know what I mean? This ain't nothing to really play with. This is a serious situation. Go ahead.
And people as the sand which is on the seashores in multitude.
This is a whole bunch of stanky Africans, man. You understand? The Philistines are Africans. This is a whole bunch of Africans. So besides the chariots, besides the cavalry, they're saying it's an infantry that look like the sand of the sea. This is what the Israelites are facing. Okay? But now, Saul received instruction from Samuel, from the man of the Lord. All right? Go ahead.
And they came up and pitched in Michmash.
Right.
Eastward from Beth-aven.
Good job. Right, keep reading.
Verse 6. When the men of Israel saw that they were in a strait.
That word strait means danger. So when you read what Christ says, enter ye in through the strait gate, that's talking about the dangerous gate. Once again, coming to serve the Lord, this ain't lollipops and teddy bears, man.
Yeah, right.
You understand? He said enter in through the dangerous gate. Serving the Lord is dangerous. It's danger, or I put it to you like
difficult.
this. It is difficult,
yeah.
and it can be dangerous. It appears dangerous, but if you follow instructions, you'll have the Lord's protection in the middle of that danger. Okay, keep reading.
For the people were distressed, and the people did hide themselves in caves, and in thickets, and in the rocks, and in the high places, and in pits.
See, they took on the spirit of the white man. That's what the white man gonna do before Christ come back. They're gonna be in the caves and the pits and the rocks. You know what I mean? Because look, the scriptures say that the Lord has not given us a spirit of fear. You understand? But a spirit of power. You know what I'm saying? Love, which is obedience to instruction and the commandments and a sound mind. When you trust in the Lord and you're following orders, you have nothing to be afraid of. You understand? When you following the men of the Lord, you should have nothing to be fearing.
Right.
Okay, keep reading.
Verse 7.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the Hebrews went over Jordan to the land of Gad and Galilee. As for Saul, he was yet in Gilgal.
In Gilgal, right.
Gilgal.
So Saul is where Samuel told him to be at. He stayed where he was at, but everybody else is like running for the hills. They shook, they scared. Okay, keep reading.
And all the people followed him trembling.
So even the men that stayed with him in Gilgal, they're trembling. They shook. You understand? Go ahead and keep reading.
Verse 8. And he tarried 7 days.
And he tarried 7 days. He did what Samuel told him to do. He said, I'll be there in 7 days. And he waited for him for 7 days. Keep reading.
According to the set time that Samuel had anointed.
Appointed. Go ahead.
But Samuel came to Gilgal.
But Samuel came not to Gilgal. So after the 7 days, Samuel didn't show up. But that's how, let me tell you something, man. That's how the Lord worked, man. The Lord told Martha and Mary when Lazarus was sick, he said, I'll be there. He sent them a message because they sent Christ a message saying, hey, your friend Lazarus is sick. This is Martha and Mary because it said that Christ loved Martha and Mary and Lazarus. He loved them. He said, I'll be there. The disciples was like, yo, when we going to leave? He said, we ain't going yet. We got to wait. Even though he told them he was going to come. He waited till Lazarus died.
And was buried.
And then he said, well, when are we going to go? He said, oh, we're going to go, but he's asleep. And he's like, oh, okay, if he's asleep, he was like, oh, if he's asleep, everything's going to be all right. He was like, he talked straight to him. He's like, nah, he dead. He dead. The Lord I don't even want to sound Christian in saying this. Let me say this in one way. The Lord's going to show up when it's time, but he want to see where your heart is at. He want to see where your mind is at. You might be having a situation that's been looming over you, and the Lord can fix it like that. He really can. But he's trying to see, are you going to move off of what you said you was going to do? So he might let the pressure build up. You might see this. It might seem like the people that's against you, right? That's moving against you and being wicked, that they got the advantage. And it's like, oh man, I mean, I'm serving the Lord. I'm doing what the Lord said. You understand what's going on? The Lord want to see, are you going to hold fast to instruction? Are you going to follow the last order? Let's keep reading. Verse 9. No. Read 8 again. Go up to 14. Go ahead.
Verse 8. And he tarried 7 days.
Right.
According to the set time that Samuel had appointed.
Mm-hmm.
But Samuel came not to Gilgal. Right. And the people were scattered from him.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 9. And Saul said, bring hither a burnt offering to me.
So now look. Now Saul, because Samuel ain't showed up, he feel like he got to take it upon himself now. I'm going to tell you, in this truth, you might call for counsel. You call, and the man above you might be, okay, no sweat, let me call you back. Let me get back with you. And it might be a day, 2 days, 3 days. And in your head, you like, man, you know what? They don't care about me. If they cared, I'm dealing with this emergency situation, and they tell me they're going to call me back. That's a demon. Your husband. You might go to your husband and be like, yo, I'm dealing with this situation. He says, okay, no sweat. Okay, I'm gonna get back with you. And you're emotionally upset, and he don't talk to you about it for another 2 or 3 days. And now you're like, man, he don't care about me. That's not how a husband's supposed to act. He should be giving me an answer, a solution. But I'm gonna tell you, 9 times out of 10, what that man of the Lord is doing is he's going to get counsel. Because when you're giving counsel to somebody, it's a matter of life and death. Whatever instruction that you give them could either cause them to live or die. It could be a situation that provides a solution and gets them out of the situation, or it can bring disaster. So a person shouldn't just be quick to say anything, man. You understand? Or it could be that the man of the Lord is dealing with other situations and he's going to get back to you.
If I could.
Oh, please.
You know, sometimes the solution is that you wait. You know, it's not always that it has to be, when you do something quickly, you're likely to make a mistake and things like that, like you were bringing up. But in the sense of like, some situations you just got to wait for that to pan out and just, you know, something's, I don't know what, you know what I'm saying, like, things will happen at the very last second in which if you would have did it earlier, you would have paid more money, you would have lost something, or things would have been worse than if you just waited.
Right.
You know, waited for when the counsel of the Lord, when the Lord came and helped you in that situation, instead of you going off and thinking that you need to do it yourself because they're not coming quickly enough.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
In the way that we mess up and fall is by taking things into our own hands. You can't do what you're not authorized to do. And if you haven't received counsel, you're moving without authorization. I'm telling you that right now. This is for anybody. Whether you're in the truth or not. If you haven't received the counsel of the Lord, then you're moving without authorization, man. You understand? There's a precept I wanted to get on that, but I'm not sure. Let me see. Give me Proverbs 12 and 15 real quick. Hold that 1 Samuel because we're going to go ahead and finish out on that. And then give me Proverbs 12 and 15. It should be the one that says there is no wisdom, no counsel. Or it could be 21 and 30, but it might be 21 and 30. What's 12 and 15 say?
It said the ways of the fool is right.
Proverbs 12, 15?
12, 15.
Give me 21 and 30. Proverbs 21 and 30.
Yeah, there you go. There
Okay.
is no wisdom nor understanding of counsel against the Lord.
Bring that out.
Okay, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1. I'm sorry, chapter 21, verse 30. There is no wisdom nor understanding nor counsel against the Lord.
There is no wisdom, no understanding, nor counsel against the Lord. If you want to have the best outcome, then you need to seek the men of the Lord. The counsel of the Lord is going to come from the priests and prophets in the Isupk, man.
Right.
And the Commander General Yohana. You understand? These are the men of the Lord. If you're dealing with any kind of situation, you need to get counsel because there's no wisdom that you have, no understanding that you have, no counsel that you can get that's going to stand against the Lord, man. That's going to be successful or have a good outcome against what the Lord says, man. You understand? So when you don't receive instruction, when you don't receive counsel, you're moving without authorization. And if you don't have authorization, you're really moving without protection. And Lord be with you. You understand? But back to that 1 Samuel.
If
Go ahead.
I could, real quick, you know what I'm saying? That precept is so heavy because it's saying there is no counsel if it's not of the Lord, in a way. You know what I'm saying? And that's really, counsel is advice. And advice is something that is meant to promote you and, you know, make the outcome of the trouble you're getting better for you in the end. A lawyer gives you counsel on your case because he's trying his best, or maybe he's not if you got a public, you know, one of the public attorneys, but he is trying his best to give you the best, you know, give you the best route to the best outcome situationally in the problem that you're facing, or in the case, or in the charges that you're facing. That's what legal counsel is, man. Now, if that lawyer tells you something that is going to get you more time and going to get you a heavier penalty, well, then that wasn't counsel, really. That wasn't advice. He didn't fulfill his fiduciary responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Which is something that he is obligated, actually by law, to do, to make sure that things aren't as, you don't basically have the max penalties, or you don't have any penalties at all. You know what I'm saying? Now, if your Christian and Catholic churches were held to a fiduciary responsibility, we're held to a an actual level of counsel, the only level of counsel and advice, which is to promote, so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians, to promote the livelihood and the lifespan of the people on planet Earth, well, then you wouldn't see them condoning the things that they condone, man. Their counsel is so that they can sleep with your wife. That's why they tell you what they tell you. The counsel that you get from your so-called black and Hispanic leaders is so that they can get your money.
I just seen an
they
article,
can be
man.
elected.
I just seen an article where a Texas minister got arrested because he had a 15-year-old girl in a hotel, and he was giving her meth. And when they asked the girl, like, how did it get to this point, she said that he was he was taking her to go visit the elderly, and then he would do private counseling with her.
Yeah.
And then he gave her drugs and had her in the hotel. You know what I'm saying? You know how the rest go. But that just happened today. I posted the article, man.
That's crazy. I'm gonna go read that. But you know what? I believe
special counseling.
That backroom special Christian Catholic counseling is going to lead to a casting couch. Salakia. You know what I'm saying? It's not. They give you counsel of themselves. It's not, and that means that they are telling you something so that it's promoting themselves instead of you, man. Whenever we tell you something, whenever I tell my children something or my wife something, it's not so I could get something out of my children. It's so that they are protected, that they are having a better, that their life is better and safer and things like that. Now, hypothetically, if you're a Christian or whatever, they're going to tell you whatever they have to tell you. This is in the Bible, too. Tell you whatever they have to tell you to get your money, get your body, or get your children's body. Look, man. Look. And those of you who are scarred from that system, you now don't want to trust any form of advice. Now you're spiritual. You're spiritual. You don't really believe in words written on that a man writes unless it's what did you say yesterday, priest? You said you said you don't believe in the Bible because it's written by man, but you follow like a cookbook, don't you? You know what I'm saying? That is, you're moving foolishly. You are following advice or following recommendations so that you don't ruin a recipe, but you will ruin your life because you refuse to follow sound advice, man. That's right. Salaki, priest.
Oh, no sweat. So, especially being in a position of leadership, and even as a mother, as a father, you understand, as a brother, whoever you're around, you know what I'm saying, if you have the knowledge of the truth, that's a leadership position. But there's always going to be somebody above you. You understand? So when you receive counsel, it behooves you to follow the last order given. It's not for you to philosophize, okay, let me go ahead and get this into my hands because I know how this needs to get handled, how this needs to get done. Whatever instruction that you were given, hold to that last instruction. You understand? If you see like, if I don't do this, then this is going to happen. That's not the spirit of the Lord. That's a demon. Well, in Salakia, because I don't want to get off into this too heavy. And I understand, what I'm saying, especially for like our sisters, man. The way that the serpent has set this society up, it put y'all in a position of quote unquote leadership, but it wasn't really leadership. You understand? Because it's not the order that the Lord set up, but it puts y'all in a position to have to take care of things on your own. So now when you come into the truth and having to relinquish that, for lack of a better word, power, and hand that over to trust somebody else, the instinct to want to take care of it yourself, that's a demon that you have to fight. You understand? But also, I'm going to tell you, for us men, it's the same thing. Before us coming into brotherhood, niggas don't want to listen to other niggas, man. Black men don't want to listen to other black men. At all. We feel like, especially in the tribe of Judah, all of us feel like we kings. All of us feel like we can run our own shit, run our own kingdom. You understand? But the scripture said that Christ, even though he was a son, he learned obedience through the things that he suffered. You understand? we are a kingdom of priests. You understand? We are a kingdom of, the scripture said that he's the King of Kings. The Lord is making us rulers. But in order to be a ruler, you have to be a good follower. You understand? And part of being a good follower is being obedient. You understand? It's not for you to try to philosophize and come up with your own plan because somebody doesn't show up on your timeline, man. Wait on the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Wait on the Lord, man. And I'm going to keep it practical for y'all. If you're in a situation where you receive, and I'm not talking about people that's just in the world. I'm talking about the men of the Lord, okay? If you receive an order, an instruction, and then you see something taking place and happening, be still. Just maintain the last order you was given. Because whatever happens, that responsibility is going to fall on the person that gave you that order, man. And trust me, within the Isupk, I can't speak for any other group because we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group, that they're going to be held accountable. And it ain't like, you know, it's not a playhouse. This is a serious thing that we're in. You understand? The men above us take this very serious, and we under these men take it very serious as well. But let's keep reading, man. Verse 9. Saul, because of what was going on, the situation with these Philistines being surrounded by these armies, the people are scared. He's like, oh man, let me go ahead and do the sacrifice. Let me commend myself. Let me pour the oil on my own head. Let me grade my own paper and give myself the A. Let me say, I'm in charge. I'm the leader. You understand? The scripture said that Samuel told him, when I get there, I'll tell you what to do next. If you keep in the last order, you're still under the Lord's protection. You understand? But go ahead, verse 9. Up to 14.
And peace offering. And he offered the burnt offering. Verse 10. It come to pass that as soon as he had made an end of offerings, the burnt offerings, behold, Samuel came.
As soon as he made the decision to take it into his own hands, the man of the Lord shows up. Interesting. Go ahead.
And Saul went out to meet him, that he might salute him.
So he walked up to the man of the Lord, to the prophet. Hey, shalom, Yahweh Shmin Shabbat. And he just got done violating the order. Keep reading.
Verse 11. And Samuel said, what hast thou done?
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. There's been plenty of times where the men above me, Captain Yatazak, hey Tapazar, Salaki, what did you just do, man? What have you done? You understand? Keep reading.
And Saul said, because I saw that the people were scattered from me.
That's the first mistake. Because see, the power is not in the people, man. The power is in our unity if we're all under the same orders, doing what the Lord said. But the Lord don't give a damn about no numbers. That's what a lot of these figs and fake Israelite groups be concentrating on, because they got big numbers. They doing big marches in purple. A bunch of purple people eaters.
Pause.
I mean, literally, cannibalism, people eaters. I'm not even being, you know what I mean? No pause in that.
Slow down.
You understand?
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, Joy Morgan.
Yikes.
All right? Numbers don't mean anything to the Lord, man.
Right.
Being obedient, following his orders and his commands. The Lord took Abraham and said, because I know you will command your house after me and teach them to follow all my commands, I will make of you a great nation. He chose one man, and from that one man built a nation, because he knew that he would follow orders, man.
That's
that
right.
He wouldn't tweak the orders. He wouldn't say, oh, well, I thought this and I thought that, and when you said this, I thought you meant this. Because you're living in your own head.
Right.
Because you really believe in somewhere in your mind, you feel like you wiser than your Lord. You feel like you wiser than the man above you. You feel like you wiser than God, somewhere in your own head. And you're gonna suffer the punishments for that. If you continue in that thought, if you continue letting yourself be guided by that demon. All right? But Samuel's asking him, what have you done? What are you doing? Keep reading.
And that thou camest, not within the days appointed.
He said, the people ran from me, and you ain't come when you said you was going to come. You ain't show up. You ain't keep your word. For a lot of people, that's a good reason to not want to follow leadership. You ain't keep your word. You ain't do what you said you was going to do. So why should I follow you? Why should I do what you said?
Right.
When it comes to the men of the Lord, that's a grave error. You operating like that, that's worldly thinking. Keep going.
and let the
Philistines
gathered themselves together at how do you pronounce it?
Michmash. Basically, Saul is given every excuse in the book for why he went against the orders of the man of the Lord, man.
Right.
He's just coming up with some excuses, man. And you can't, you know what you can build with excuses, right? Not a goddamn thing.
I'm just gonna say I don't know nothing.
Not a goddamn thing, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But more excuses. He's seeking to justify himself for not being obedient. Keep reading.
Verse 12. Therefore said I, the Philistines will come down now upon me to Gilgal, and I have not made supplications unto the Lord.
You know what he's saying right here? He's philosophizing why he shouldn't have kept the order that was given to him. Oh, the Philistines would have came down, and I didn't give an offering unto the Lord. So, okay, you do this offering, and what that's going to protect you from the Philistines coming down? It said they had 36,000 chariots, man, 6,000 men on horses, in a number as far as the sand of the sea. What is you sacrificing these sheep going to do for you, man?
What's the title of this class? Vain imagination.
That's a vain imagination. You coming up with your own theories and concepts and walking after your own imagination, the counsel of your own heart, trying to figure out a way to solve this problem, and you don't have the answer, Sway.
You don't got them.
You don't have the answer, Sway.
You don't got them.
All right, keep reading.
I forced myself therefore and offered a burnt offering.
He said he forced himself. A lot of y'all are forcing yourself into some bad situations, man, because you don't have the patience. Like it said in Ecclesiastes chapter 2, man, it said to be patient. Don't be hasty in the time of trouble. That's what we just read in Ecclesiastes chapter 2. Don't be hasty in the time of trouble. The trouble doesn't give you license to sin against the Lord, to violate his commandment, to go against the order. You hold fast. Keep reading.
Verse 13. And Samuel says to Saul, thou hast done foolishly.
No, you did wisely.
Thou hast done foolishly.
No, you're really a true leader, and you're showing your leadership skills by filling in the gap because nobody's here to take charge. So you're the one that has the good ideas. You got the precepts. You got the scriptures. You know where to go. Your mind, you know how this thing should move. Right. You're the leader. Read it again.
Thou hast done foolishly.
You should have waited on the man of the Lord. The Lord don't need your contribution in that way. What you contribute under orders, that's what the Lord wants. He don't need no extra curricular from you. Just do what you've been told to do. Right. That's sufficient. Keep reading.
Thou hast not kept the commandments of the Lord thy God, which he commanded thee. For now will the Lord have established thy kingdom upon Israel forever.
Had Saul just waited 15 more minutes, man, or just made the commitment to wait, period, had he endured till the end, man, we wouldn't be talking about the kingdom of, the throne of David. We'd be talking about the throne of Saul.
That boy a professional.
We wouldn't be talking about Christ came out of the house of Judah. We would have been talking about Christ came out of the house of Saul.
He was a Benjamin or something?
The main tribe would have been the tribe of Benjamin, with all that good West Indian food and them oxtails and
that accent.
And that escovitch fish and them plantains, man.
Yeah. They got,
you know what I'm saying? But now it's fried chicken and collard greens and yams at the forefront.
All day, every day.
And macaroni and cheese, man. And,
welcome to the cookout.
Congestive heart failure.
That's it right there.
Salakia.
That's what we believe in the tribe of Judah.
And big beef ribs.
Fried food. I had some fried food.
You understand? It would have been the tribe of Benjamin as the head tribe, man. You understand? But because Saul couldn't wait on the Lord. If you want to be established in the truth, man, wait on the men of the Lord, man. Take their counsel and hold fast to what you're being told, man. Okay, keep reading. Verse 14.
Verse 14. But now thy kingdom shall not continue.
See, man, the scripture's talking about the kingdom of heaven is at hand, man. And see, we know that this kingdom is going to be an everlasting kingdom. Right. But you won't continue in the kingdom if you're not willing to be obedient to what the Lord is telling you to do. You won't cross over. Like how Moses couldn't see the kingdom that Joshua went on to establish because he disobeyed one time. Right. It only takes one time with the Lord, man.
Talking about Moses?
Come on.
Yeah, that's it right there.
It only take one time, man.
Salaki, if I could.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying, man? And this is why we say in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge, man, there are no excuses. The Lord didn't have any excuses for the King of Israel, man. He was, and you know what I'm hearing right here? Saul was the king of excuses.
Nice.
That's what he was. He was a good, that boy, he was, what he was good at, if nothing else? Excuses. He was like, you know what, man? The people this and the Philistines that, and he would paint a great picture. A great picture, something that you might excuse, if you were, not a soldier of Christ, not a soldier of the Lord, man. And when you make these excuses, you're basically validating your error.
Right.
You're saying, this is why I effed up.
Basically, like what you're saying is, I was right. I was right to do this.
I was right to mess up. Look, come on, man. I had to do this and that and this, and you took forever. It's your fault, really.
Man.
You took forever.
It's your fault.
You know what I'm saying?
You the reason why I'm in this condition. You're the reason why I made this decision.
Hey, look, man, I just follow.
Good night. No accountability.
I just follow orders. I don't have time to make excuses later.
I don't have time to think.
I don't have time to think about it. I don't have time to think of these excuses. This nigga, it's like this boy would stop, sees Samuel come up. He like, I got about 5 excuses cooking for this. This boy is thinking about the excuses instead of waiting.
2, 3, okay.
Look,
yeah.
man.
Look, this gonna be real good. Wait till you hear this.
This was hot.
Wait till you hear this.
When you hear about the Philistines, you gonna be like, man, you right.
Oh yeah, man. I understand, man. It was a lot of pressure.
I feel you,
you was under a lot of pressure, man.
No, man.
I understand.
A king full of excuses is gonna lead to everything else. My wife is full of excuses.
Man, a king full of excuses leads. A king full of excuses.
A kingdom.
A king full of excuses leads to a kingdom being under oppression.
Right. That's it.
You understand? We got as a people, we have excuses for everything.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Why our homes are broken up? You know what I'm saying? Why well, listen, man, I'm selling these drugs because the white man got his foot on my neck. You understand? Well, nah, my man, he ain't living with me and my kids because he stepped out and cheated on me. I ain't finna tolerate that. I ain't had no man here disrespecting me like that, being with another woman.
Right.
So now your kids don't have a father. We have 1,000 excuses. Well, listen, man, I don't feel like the Lord really care about no food. Right. It's more important things that he's concerned about than some shrimp and some crab and some lobster. Listen, it's bigger issues. I'm gonna eat what I eat, okay? But I'm gonna treat people right. You can't even treat yourself right. The Lord said it's an abomination, and you can't even love yourself, let alone love somebody else, man. Right. We as in our community, we have 1,000 excuses for why we're not going to serve the Lord, and that's why we're in the condition that we're in. Finish reading that. 14. Finish that off. Yeah.
The Lord has sought him, a man after his own heart.
A man after his own heart, and like I said, when the scriptures talk about the heart, he ain't talking about that organ with 4 chambers that's pumping blood throughout your whole body, man. You understand? Like when you memorize your homework, when you memorize a poem, when you memorize a song, and you say, man, I got that song memorized by heart. You ain't talking about that organ in your chest. You're talking about your mind. And that's what the scriptures is talking about too, man. Okay? He's looking after a man that's seeking out his mind. And we know who that man ended up being. King David. Let me tell you how cold King David was, man. King David would be about to go to war with somebody. They right there. He'll leave off from his army and be like, he'll seek the Lord, like, Lord, do I take him or do I not take him? Do I take these niggas out or do I just fall back?
Damn.
He asked him in the midst of the situation. It's been like, I could show y'all 3 or 4 situations where David was in dire straits, in straight up danger, and he went to the Lord in the middle of that and said, Lord, what do I do? And waited for his counsel. This is why David in the Psalms tells us, listen, the Bible says that the things that were written aforetime were written for our learning. That's why David was a witness to the people, a commander to the people of a man who followed the Lord, that followed orders, man. He didn't care about what he saw around him. He didn't care about the people because at one time, man, David's own men was talking about stoning him.
Right.
They was ready to kill David because their families had been kidnapped. Their wives had been taken. Their children had been taken. And they was like, man, you out here leading us, man. Got my wife and my kids gone. Why the hell am I following you for, man? Man, we ought to kill this nigga. And it said David stepped away and encouraged himself in the Lord and sought the Lord in the middle of that pressure. So what the hell is Saul talking about, man? And the Lord knew David had heart like that.
Right.
That no matter what the situation was, he wanted the counsel of the Lord because he knew that was his only protection and his way out and his only way to a solution was the Lord's counsel, man. And for you blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, you need to start placing value on the men of the Lord and their counsel, man. And stop placing value on your own thoughts, on your own vain imaginations, man. And start following orders, man. And seeking the Lord's counsel, man. Keep reading.
And the Lord have commanded him to be captain over his people, because thou hast not kept that which the Lord commanded thee.
The very thing that you're trying to preserve and save, I'm talking to all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, man. The very thing that you're trying to protect and preserve and save, it could be your sanity. It could be your sense of well-being, your sense of security, right? Your relationship, your children. If you're not taking the counsel of the Lord, the very thing that you're trying to keep and protect, you're gonna watch it be taken away right in front of your eyes, man. It's gonna get taken away from you, man. Give me Isaiah 42 and 24 real fast. It's gonna get taken away from you, man. The same way we as a nation of people got taken away and brought here in slavery, man, because we didn't want to take heed to the counsel of the Lord, man. We've been robbed as a nation, as a kingdom. That's why Christ had to come in the first place, man, and restore back to us the law, restore back honor to the law and the Lord's commandments, man. You got that?
You said verse 22?
24, Isaiah 42 and 24.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42, verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
Who gave Jacob for a spoil?
Who gave Jacob the 12 tribes over to be robbed? That's what spoil means, man. When it talks about coming to spoil the goods, it's like if you come home and the big screen TV is gone. You understand? All your purses and shoes is gone. Your Jordans is gone. You understand? All your clothes in your closet, have been taken. The good china. I know some of us got. Well, we rocking with paper plates and plastic cups, but for y'all who got money, you understand? The good crystal. You understand? All the boxes of ramen noodles. If you rocking out like, you know what I'm saying, in the projects, they done took all the chicken ramen noodles, man, that you didn't bought. Gone. Okay, spoil. Who gave Jacob the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel over to be robbed? Keep reading.
And Israel to the robbers.
Who are the robbers, man? Every nation that we've served a captivity under, man. Whether it was the Assyrians, the Babylonians, the Greeks, the Persians, the Romans, the Africans, the Arabs, Ishmaelites, or current day, our oppressor, the so-called white man, the tribe of Edom, man. Who gave us over to the robbers? Go ahead.
Did not the Lord.
Did not the Lord. When you suffer the punishments for not taking the Lord's counsel, it's the Lord that let that happen to you, man. Because he realizes that we are a hard-headed people, man. A hard-headed people. He told Ezekiel that. I don't send you to a people that's going to listen. I'm sending you to a hard-headed people. Keep reading.
He against whom have sinned.
See, read it again. Just take your time.
He against whom we have sinned.
Right. Again, we've been handed over by the Lord because we've sinned against him, man. We've broken his laws, statutes, and commandments, man. We've ignored his counsel. You understand? We've walked in our vain imaginations. Keep reading.
For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto the law, to his law.
Right, man. Because we didn't want to walk in the Lord's ways. We weren't obedient to his laws, so we gave ourselves up to get robbed, man. And that happened to us as a nation, as a people, and it happens to us as individuals as well, man. In our personal lives, man. In our communities, man. In our neighborhoods, man. Preacher, you want to say anything?
No.
Okay, man. So listen, man. Give me real quick Proverbs 19 and 20. No, actually, give me Psalms 1 and 1, and we'll leave off on that. We'll leave off on that, man.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 1, verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
Yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be successful if you're not taking the counsel of people that's in the world, man. You understand? We see what the results of... Good night, man. I don't want to take too long because, you know, we already going over. But I just watched a video from Lil Nas X. I'm not even talking about the video he did where he was twerking on Satan in hell. You understand? He, you know, right now he's being... Nike is suing him for this satanic shoe that he made, right? So what he did was he made like a mock video of him having to go to trial for this litigation against him for like, you know, I guess you would call it trademark infringement or what have you, because the shoe imitates the shoe that Nike makes, right? So I'm watching this video and I realized how talented Lil Nas X is, man. In the video, he's doing what Eddie Murphy did in Coming to America in the barbershop. He's playing like 6 different roles. He's playing himself as the defendant. He's playing himself as the defense lawyer. He's playing himself as a person in the jury. He's playing himself as the judge, man. And in each character, I promise you, he's like a little Eddie Murphy, man. And I'm like, look at all this talent this brother has, and he's giving himself over to the devil. And in this courtroom, they make it about him being gay. They ask him, "Are you gay?" And he's like, "I thought, is this what this is about?" He's using the fact that he's promoting. We all know that Satan is not some red-horned devil living underground with a pitchfork, man. That's foolishness. We know it's the so-called white man that walks amongst us and has been lying to us and enslaving us for over 400 years. We know who the devil is in the truth. But he's pumping out this nonsense, man. You understand? Giving the impression that, you know, he's liberated. He's a brave soul because he's expressing who he is and his sexuality, man. He thinks that's bravery. You understand? He thinks that's courage to come out and be who he is, man. When what he's doing is he's going against the law. Really, he's a coward, man. And he's using the talent, the salt that the Lord gave all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians to serve the devil. You understand? And I realized watching this, I said, man, wow, man, this is what we do, man. We take the rulership that God gave us and we take it and we give ourselves to be subjugated by the people who are nothing to the Most High, man. And the Lord puts us up under them who are nothing, man. The scriptures say that those who have been reputed to be as nothing, they are now lords over us. Why would you, as a black man, supposed to be a priest of the Most High, why would you listen, man? The bed is undefiled, man. What a woman does for her husband, the Lord ain't got no issues with that, okay? But why would you take the role of a woman twerking on a demon and show that to our children? The Lord is getting ready to destroy this place, man. It says that in Sodom and Gomorrah, that from the youngest to the oldest, they all desired to go after those angels, man, sexually, man. You understand? And we're reaching that point here in this society, man. And I'm telling y'all this is because the scriptures say that as in the days of Sodom and Gomorrah, man, that they were given in marriage and marrying. It brought up Noah and Lot. That in the days of Lot, they were married and given in marriage. What's going on right now in our country, man? These gay marriages, these binary marriages, this transsexualism, right? This identifying yourself as whatever you please to be. We're reaching the point where the Lord is about to destroy this place, man. You understand? We can't get tripped up on following orders because you following an order can mean your life or your death, man. You understand? So with that, you know what I'm saying? Unless there's any questions in the chat, which I don't see any. No. Any questions in the room? We're going to go ahead and end the class. Is there any questions in the room? Everybody, Tawab, Most High in Christ. If you can go ahead, I'm going to pass the class over to Priest Abban Zion to read the security announcements. We're going to go ahead and close out.
Right. All right. This is the ISBK security announcement. We on the ISBK started off 1 West, 125th Street. Harlem, New York. Rules for new brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for the next for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teachers will arrange it. After 6 months, a brother or sister have an interest in a particular person. He or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21. Malachi 3, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Means 10 in the Hebrew. Ma'asharah. Verse 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to treasury department or teacher, priest funds, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming convocation, holy convocation.
I believe that's the Feast of Trumpets, September 17th.
It's the Feast of Trumpets, September the 17th, 2021. Remind Akim and Akwap to check the bulletin board in the hallway. For anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black. Boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. That concludes the announcement, security announcements.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and give a courtesy salute to the Akim and to the Akwapians, to the brothers and the sisters. Amajam, which means to stand in Hebrew. So, men of Israel, Amajam, Shabbat, Amajam, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Brakatoa, Yazmatah, Asar means to turn, face the sisters. Men of Israel, Amajam Shabbat, Amajam, Barak, Yahweh Shemar Latam Ba'Hashem Yahushua.
Yahweh Shemar Latam Ba'Hashem Yahushua.
Yazmatah, class is dismissed. Oh, that's good. So you can call the county.
Okay. So it's Black Software Day, and I didn't get informed. Y'all, shalom to y'all having black stars on the county. All three of them. Oh. I tried to be one that was going to go with everything. So good.
Yeah, yo, Salaki, if that bathroom had that smell, besides set fire to the bathroom yesterday after class. Yeah.
What bathroom?
This one.
I smelled the candle that's in there.
On time Christ, I had to wipe it down to try to get rid of that smell. As soon as we got done with class, the fire alarm started going off. So we like, she said, there ain't nothing going on, what's going on? So we walk over here, side clock the bathroom, just close the door. She got a cup, she's just like, and walking off, right? So I'm outside. So Rocky was behind me. I open the door, and it's a hole in the trash case, it's a fire going up. Mine was a plastic liner up in there, right? So it's just fire going up the wall. So I don't even put the fire out. I just go to the room. She's like looking like this with her eyes. I'm like, what you do? Nothing. She closed the door, wasn't even gonna say nothing. And so Baraki, I went and put the fire out, man. She had took the paper towel and lit the fire. And then when it got crazy, threw it into the trash can instead of throwing it to the toilet, and the whole thing went up. And you know, so since the plastic was burned, it was like chemical smoke. It wasn't just like regular smoke. Sis was here yesterday. You know what I'm saying? good night, man. I was just like, I had to like just really stop myself from getting there. You know what I'm saying? I had to. It was one of the times I was like, well, you know what? I was talking with the side, with the fire.
Oh, woo!
Yeah, man.
Boy, that was
Hey, we're
crazy.
running.
He was so mad he didn't even put out the fire. Did you tell him that part?
I was like, no,
He was like-
he was like, ooh, he went right to it. I was like, what you doing?
I was like, man, she dead now. It's alright, rest in peace, it's alright.
I really, I showed.
He showed mad mercy.
Strength, yeah, man.
I was like, it must be because Danielle here, because I was like,
I
she
ain't
be
gonna lie,
dead.
he was 50% of it.
I was like, she would be
I was like, man, let me just think 1, twice, 3. On my fourth, but I was like, I need to beat her ass.
Yeah,
But you know.
he still had mercy even in that. So.
Oh, Salaki, you mind walking the sisters to the car? Most High in Christ, man. Hey, a lot of y'all coming through, man. You know what I'm saying?
Real spill. Yeah.
Y'all ready?
Okay, Shalom, sorry, you finished with the computer?
Oh, Most High in Christ. Yeah, you turn it off.
I need
you guys,
that.
he did tell me that.
I gotta teach another class tonight.
Oh, well, I'm. You might want to call Farah, bro.
Yeah.
No. I mean, he was here when Avon said that you used the website, but you might just want to give him a call and talk to him. Actually, call him right now before you go. You know what I'm saying?